Fest is back, and it's back downtown where it belongs. And there will be, there's always been, thousands of fans showing up at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. Comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins that I hope you'll also check out. There sure isn't much to celebrate, whether it's over a long term or even the very short term. The Pirates have been complete failures at all levels in the Ben Cherington era. And, you know, while understanding that there's another month left of the offseason, they've been complete failures this offseason. Is that fair? I think so. We're talking about Spencer Horwitz, who, even if he's a nice player, you know, he's not doing really much at all to move the needle on your greatest need, which is offense. He actually might take away from the power component at first base. But people are going to come. They always come. The Pirates, I say this all the time, through good times and the mostly bad, they course through the veins of our city in a way that the Steelers and Penguins can't even dream of doing, believe it or not. The Pirates are entering their 144th season. Born in 1882, the Steelers were born in 1933, the Penguins in 1967. These are not comparable things. And the moment the Pirates, I was about to say get good, they don't even have to get good. They just have to look like they're not a disaster. And you see the way the city gets behind them. And that's part of the problem, candidly. Because if there's going to be one sharp division visually when it comes to this event this weekend, it's going to be that there's going to be a lot of people inside having fun, waiting on autographs, whether it's to, you know, commemorate a player or favorite of theirs, present or past, or whether it's just to go run and sell it on eBay. The lines are going to be interminable for that. People will show up with their jerseys on. They'll have the fun in the games. And of course, there's activities for the kids. And the Q&A with management, which to people like me and you who, you know, kind of get into this at a little bit more of an intense level, is the main event. It's when you're in the building, it's just another thing that's happening off into the corner. You're not even really sure what it is. You're just kind of walking around having a good time. Meanwhile, just outside the convention center, on a median strip between 10th Street and Penn Avenue, the group of protesters that's been organizing rallies through downtown and over to PNC Park, as well as the billboard campaign that's been evident at, I think 5 different locations now. You know, the whole sell the team Bob thing. They're going to be out there. And, you know, I don't know what their plans are in any way, shape, or form, but man, I really hope there's some kind of connection that happens here. Whatever their number is, the amount of effort that's gone into this, even if it's just a few dozen, the passion, the money, the time that they've put into these protests, that should tell everyone, including Bob Nutting and everyone else associated with the organization, how much they care. They're not the enemy. They want the team to want to win. It's a fairly reasonable ask, one would think. Now, they were put together before this offseason, once it became clear that Nutting was going to bring back a management team that had been a disaster for 5 years. But their complaints could just as easily be magnified right now. You're seeing around baseball. Let's just stick with the topic everybody always wants to go at. You're seeing around baseball never spenders like the A's and the Marlins, whether it's because they have to hit some sort of threshold for revenue sharing or whatever, I don't care. You're still seeing them spend. you're still seeing them add players. In other cases, in particular in the Central Division, you're seeing the Brewers fortify who they've become. You've seen the Cardinals take steps. You've seen the Cubs increasingly take a lot of steps. Even the Reds, who only seem to do this sort of thing once every, 7 or 8 years. They've been in the game. These guys, completely comatose. Completely out of it. What? There's no right fielder? Whatever. We'll just cobble one together. We'll make a platoon out of Jack Sawinski and somebody who's right-handed. They can't be moved. They can't be swayed. Do they care that there are people who care enough to be protesting this ownership? I don't think so. Might they care when some other things that have gotten going start taking off a little bit? A lot of those people are behind the same things, meaning beginning to get to politicians and those who actually have the power to make the Pirates' life uncomfortable. But why couldn't somebody from management? It doesn't have to be Nutting. I don't think he's going to be there anyway. He hasn't been to one of these things in a while. Maybe it's Travis Williams. Maybe it's, I don't know. But somebody could say, hey, guys, listen, we're all on the same side here. And if you don't think we are, let us at least attempt to explain to you why we, the Pittsburgh Pirates, think we're doing the right thing. Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they? Unless, of course, they're aware that for whatever reason they're not doing the right thing or that they're not doing enough. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Kevin, who says, DK, the scariest thought is that Ben Cherington isn't acting with urgency because he has hushed assurances that he's not getting fired anytime soon, which is the worst possible outcome. How else do you explain Spencer Horwitz being the only addition? I have another way of explaining it. I do. And it's not to say that this other way is any more right than the one that you put forth. But I really don't believe that Cherington can last beyond this season without the Pirates making some sort of significant step forward. In my mind, that's the playoffs, but who knows the way those above him think, given, the lack of competitive anything that we see in any element of this franchise's operations. The other way that this could be a thing is that he just thinks he's going to outsmart everybody, that he doesn't need to do it necessarily with money, that he's going to show that he was right about this player or that player. I mentioned Jack Sawinski in the opening segment in passing, but if he says, listen, I think Jack can hit right-handers, I don't know so much about lefties, but I'm going to create a platoon with Jack, and I'm going to go find somebody, and I'm going to let everybody see how smart our analytics people are who helped me find that somebody. And I'm going to make really, really, really sure that that player does not have the initials BDLC, for example. He also might be valuing at a very high level those players who came in trades late last season. Billy Cook and Nick York. I know the Pirates were excited, and I mean legitimately so, not like putting on a show or whatever. They were really pumped up about what these guys can do, but they're not new to baseball, to organized baseball, and other teams gave them to the Pirates in trades, which is never a promising thing for someone's future, meaning the part where the other guys decided they were expendable. And if that's the case, then the point's made right there on the spot, because that's not a serious approach to crafting up some kind of contender. It's just not. You don't throw a bunch of guys in their mid-20s at the wall and see who sticks whenever you're serious. But that's the process. That's what Cherington knows. That's what Cherington does. So to him, he sees a vacancy in right field, not as an opportunity for the Pirates to really upgrade their overall offense, but as yet another thing that he has to piecemeal his way through. So there's also that, I don't want to be that guy. I've been to a ton of Pirates Fest. I'm in Buffalo now covering hockey, so I won't be at this one. And there have been times when those have been just great, including for kids. I've taken my own kids, and I definitely don't mean to be a wet blanket about that part of it. It's just that, gee whiz, it sure would be nice if the Pirates would be able to hold a festival and have something to actually celebrate or even bring some hope. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these on Monday.